The new covenant is not a covenant of works, but of rest in Jesus Christ. The church is not under the condemning ministry of the law. And this is clearly seen in Romans chapter 8, verses 1 to 2. As believers are not under the law, they are beyond its grasp to condemn. So Paul states in Romans chapter 6, verse 14, "For you are not under law, but under grace." He also made it clear in Galatians chapter 5, verse 18, that if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under law. And the law is not given to the Christian as a standard to which they must live by, but it is to show the unbeliever that he falls short of God's standards. As it is written in Romans chapter 3, verse 24, by the law is the knowledge of sin. So Paul stated in 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9, the law is for the righteous. And today's faith and law are mutually exclusive. In Israel's dispensation of the law, faith and law were equally beneficial. One needed both. And without faith, the requirements of the law would not be acceptable. So Paul stated, without faith, it is impossible to please God. Now, therefore, the Lord said that he rejected the sacrifices, for they were not mixed with faith. Now, if the law is not of faith, by what do we live? Thus, the Christian sins if he puts himself under the requirements of the law. And remember, Paul said that in Romans chapter 14, verse 23, whatever is not of faith is sin. He used this example of food to express this concept. Righteousness cannot come from the law because the law demands perfect obedience, and God's standard is perfection, something we cannot understand since we never see or experience it. It is impossible to please God by following the law because the law is not of faith. So righteousness pleases God, but in the new covenant, it cannot come from doing the works of the law. It can only come from faith, as stated in Romans chapter 4, verse 5. But to him who does not work, but believes on him who justifies the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness.